Today is a very important event organized for the Commerce Department children. Not only for those who have opted for commerce, but also for those children who are aspiring to take commerce in their higher secondary. So we had been organizing several events right from the beginning of this academic year. In fact, a month back, we had one of our alumni, Shakti Chandra, a product of Sri Ram College of Commerce, New Delhi, speaking to our plus two students about several things related to commerce stream. In connection, as a continuation to that program, we have with us Mr. Surya Narayana Yadave. He's from Puducherry, a chartered accountant. He's also the associate with Modi and Associates, a very, very top chartered accountant firm in Puducherry. I'm extremely glad that a youngster like Mr. Surya is with us to clear several doubts that few of our commerce children have in their minds regarding choosing the right kind of career, the various options that are available in front of the commerce students. And to be the moderator for this event, we have with us two higher secondary teachers, Mrs. Prabhavati and Mrs. Shivagami. I welcome all the children and Shivagami, Prabhavati for this event. And to extend the technical support, we have with us higher secondary biology teacher Sunita as well. Once again, my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Surya Narayana. I know today morning we were supposed to have this event, but he was very, very busy. So we thought we will have it in the evening so that it is very comfortable for all of us. With these few words, I don't want to take too much of time because I want to give more time for the kids to get their doubts clear, to interact more with Surya Narayana. Yesterday, when we had this mock session, the children were so excited when they came to know that they are going to interact with a very young person. I'm sure the kids will be able to relate with him as the event progresses. Thank you, Surya Narayana. Extremely thankful for having accepted our invitation. And my heartfelt thanks to your boss, Lalit Modi, a very, very close friend of mine. In fact, what I am as a writer is because of Lalit ji. It was he who instigated me to become a writer. Around 35-40 articles I have written in international magazine Infinity Thoughts. It is all because of the seed that he sowed. And every time, whenever I used to send those articles and ask him for feedback, he was always so generous to give me very, very positive feedback and critically also point out where I went wrong. And personally, a very good friend of mine, a well-wisher of mine, extremely happy that we have a prodigy of Lalit sir today with us. Once again, thank you, Surya. Thank you very much for accepting our invite today.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
So now the platform is open for Prabhavati and Shivagami. Let's begin with Prabhavati.
Namaste, ma'am. Namaste, sir. First, we are very thankful to our ma'am principal for arranging this session for our commerce students. And we are very thankful and very happy to invite you for this session. If you could see for recent years, there is a spike for studying a commerce stream. So most of the students opt commerce stream, but still they don't have much clarity about their future career options. I hope that the session would be very helpful for them. And also students are awaiting for you to get clarification of their doubts. You're too young, you are looking like they are brothers, so they are very comfortable. I think they are comfortable to ask you a question. And please share with them that once they completed their higher secondary, how they can enhance their network for their career opportunity. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bagami?
Namaste, sir. Namaste, ma'am. it was a very pride and proud factor for me as a part of a Natesan family. Today I was so excited that my children are getting so much enlightened today. They are getting more about commerce stream because our ma'am, we won't say that she is our principal. We would say that she is like our elder sister. She often insists commerce stream children to come better in their life. She often think of the children. So in that way, today I was so happy that on behalf of many crowd, these 10 children are representing. Behalf of those children, these people are going to raise up so many questions to you, sir. Now I'm having a confidence that you are going to clear all my kids. They are our kids, all our kids' doubt. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity. For the past few years, we are pestering you like anything, ma'am. Give some extra fit for our children. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this kind of an opportunity. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Prabhavati, can we start with the students?
Let's start with Aisri Shankar of 12th standard. Aisri,
Sir.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
For the reference, I have actually typed the question in the chat box. So I have
Okay.
like 3 main questions. My first and foremost question is, I'm planning to do ACCA, but
Okay.
my dad is like, why don't you do USCMA, not the Indian one, the US one, the Chartered Management Accounting one. So in that, what are the job prospects for ACCA UK versus USCMA in India? The job prospects, like you mainly it's chartered accountancy or CA is considered number 1, which I totally agree, and it's good. Like, what are the job prospects in India? What's the scope for them? And my second question would be that, like you can see, I asked, people like who do IIT, IIM, and they go 2 years, they do MBA Finance, and they come and they're considered the same level as people who have done chartered accountancy or at least something in finance sector. So how is that, like people who have no idea of what we've been through for all these years, they just study 2 years of integrated MBA Finance and they just come up and compete with us. And it's not only like, how do you, an employment opportunities also are limited already, and these people get like go to the position of CFOs and CEOs. So what is that, like which one is better? What do you like suggest? And my third one will be okay, this I think you would I wanted to answer, like I prefer investment banking, like wealth management or fund management, yeah. So in that way, would you like, are you planning to do auditing, or are you going to go under investment banking, like being a wealth manager or a fund management kind of? So which is better? Basically, I want. Okay, I'll be honest. I am not into a number crunching person. I am basically into management sector. I'm not good at the math, to be honest. So something with less digits and numbers. So auditing also is like that, but that deals with balance sheet and income statements and checking the company's finances. Investment banking is a more, yeah, it's also risky. It's a bit riskier than auditing. Which do you like suggest for people like me? These 3 are my just core questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me try to, first of all, before answering, I would like to express my warm regard to this Natesan school, the family, the chairman, the principal and assistant correspondent Gayatri Ramachandran madam, my mentor Lalit Moji sir, for giving me this opportunity to interact with wonderful kids like you. First of all, I should thank the school management and my mentor for this. So let me take your questions one by one. First question is with respect to the job opportunities in India with respect to ACCA and USCMA. Yeah. Basically, if you see, the thing is, these are not aligned or something with Indian standards, what we are following right now. Most of the foreign countries have moved foreign valuation based accounting, whereas India still, part of India is still in conservative based of accounting kind of a thing. So, but recently India is also started moving towards the international standards. We are just adopting IFRS, and our recently we have most of our companies started following Ind AS kind of a thing, which is almost in line with IFRS. That is how it is actually. So India, if you see, there is a lot of KPOs in India. Lot of KPOs in the sense, KPO means these are knowledge process outsourcing concerns. So what these people will do is that they will just knowledge, these people will work for other organizations in India, just like how we have BPOs or something who just done some processing. There are a lot of KPOs who are coming in India. India is major outsourcing hub for this accounting and financial functions from all over the world. These ACCA qualified professionals are preferred by those employers who are handling these functions. This ACCA and CMA qualified persons are preferred by these employers. Second thing, like I just said, India is moving a step towards the globalization by introducing of Ind AS, which is similar to IFRS. I will not say it is same as IFRS, it is similar to IFRS. And this ACCA covers IFRS broadly in its syllabus, which is definitely given edge to ACCA fellows in India. Now, apart from this KPOs, India is also becoming a hub for global market. India, with the introduction, with the government's action or plan or something, we are getting lot of foreign direct investments into India. Like India is becoming a global market, inviting lot of MNCs to invest in India, either as a subsidiary or they're opening a branch or whatever it is. These companies, what they will do is, these companies have to follow certain regulations which are according to their standards or some. Let us say a US based company or UK based company, if they are having a subsidiary or something in India, for their compliance purpose in their foreign national, they want the Indian set of books or Indian set of operations to comply with their thing for their consolidation and other regulatory purpose. So for those kinds of companies prefer persons with ACCA or CMA, so that they have better knowledge about their compliance standards and other things. So with respect to ACCA and CMA, there are a lot of job opportunities which are coming in India, and this is one of the promising standards in India, right? And one more advantage of doing ACCA and US CMA is you have a global market for it. You are not restricted to India. You have a global market. So you can just even have an option of going abroad and enhancing your career there. I think you might be aware about ACCA. ACCA is having certain exemptions if you are completing certain things. Like if you are completing your graduation, they are giving certain exemptions. Like even if you want to have a double degree, you can do CA and ACCA also together. If you do CA and ACCA, then you can get a maximum exemption in your ACCA degrees. Those are subject to certain conditions. You can just refer those things. May I know your second question, please?
It's my second question is about whether MBA finance is MBA finance versus chartered accountancy. Like CA, when people do MBA finance and they 2 years MBA finance after completing their IIM and all, and the people who only focus core chartered accountancy, what is the long-term career aspects for them? Because those people know only those 2 years of their education, only those 2 years integrated that too. But people like you who have like full life, you have done half your life, you have thrived, and then they come up and compete with you. It's not fair, right? So in that way,
it is not only the subject knowledge which speaks, madam. The thing is, those CAs are you have 3 levels in CA, and you used to study left and right of finance and other things. What is happening is, it is not only the subject knowledge, it is how you manage the affairs of the thing. Chartered accountants and MBAs are, to be very frank, chartered accountancy and MBA are treated on par in many of the industries, because MBA, they, other than finance, they wanted to manage their affairs also. You are mostly confined to your finance and other things. Though recently Institute has come up with lot of soft skill courses and other things to complete that, we will, what to say, we will try to, we can see a future prospect in with CA also. MBAs are good at what to say. MBAs are good at management and communication and lot more. And CAs with as of now we are very good at knowledge level. And institutes are coming with lot of soft skills and other things for CA students, which they are becoming mandatory right now. So soon we can expect even more competence and what to say, competition from CAs also in future in this regard.
And my last question is, in terms of job satisfaction, better compensation, is it auditing or investment banking is what you would recommend?
Okay, ma'am. When it comes to choosing your job or something, what I will personally suggest is, you can ask for a suggestion from anyone or whoever. You can ask for a suggestion from hundreds of people, but at last the call should be yours. What you feel like doing, what gives satisfaction to you, you should choose that particular part of it. Basically, I preferred practice over going for an employment or something in an investment banking sector, because that is that is where I felt I will be fitting it to it. Both are equally good when it comes to remuneration, when it comes to what to say, the status in the society, whatever it is, both are equally good. But you have to choose your career based on your inner push. What gives maximum satisfaction to you, you should choose that. It is not about money what we are going to do. It is because finance is a field where there is no retirement age or something for a finance professional actually. So it is a lifetime job. So you have to choose what gives you more satisfaction while choosing your career.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let us forget about the compensation or the money. In case of interest, let us say long term. Like I said, I'm not good at numbers. I don't like number crunching. I can't the digits. I can't do that. So, what gives me like what is more interesting for a person who you would recommend? And of course, the call will be mine at the end of the day. But I'd like to have some says from others, right? So.
Okay. Investment banking is also not a fully number crunching job actually. You have to apply your mind, you have to predict the what to say. Mostly you will have lot of assistance from the technology to support your thing, but at last it is your intuition which will make you an excel in investment banking too. Though you are supplied with lot of inputs by so much of technologies, it is your intuition which pushes you to the excel level in investment banking. So when it comes to finance, we have to face with numbers only makes finance, but numbers alone will not make finance. Numbers, you have to face numbers whether you come for audit practice then second thing, CA is not only about that audit or something. There are huge opportunities which is available for CAs other than audit also. You can do your tax practice, you can do your what to say, you can just be involved in mergers and acquisitions, you can be involved in valuations, you can be involved in insolvencies, apart from audit, stat audit or whatever it is. And in investment banking also you have huge opportunities like that. So it's not always a number crunch which is there in investment banking or in CA, but you have to face the numbers once you become a finance professional.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. I think you have clear picture about so many aspects, because whenever children are talking about accountancy and all, they are thinking that only number system, it's all about accountancy. Apart from that, so many aspects are that. I think you have given a clear picture about it. Thank you so much for that, sir. Now we have Muhammad Jawahar Hasim from 11th standard. Have a query with you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sir, can I ask, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
What are the most important skill that a commerce student should develop for better job aspects?
Okay. That is a very good question actually. If you want a skill set, we cannot just say that this is the skill set or this is the skill set. One thing, mere degree or whatever is mere degree, diploma or whatever studies is not enough to fetch a respectable jobs, or what to say. You can enter into a job to sustain there and to climb up the ladder. It is not only the degree which is going to help us. We need some more on the job skills that the students must master before they make a way for the corporate world. The right kind of job skills makes you more employable for any corporate organizations. As a student, job skills can help you in advancing your professional career faster than any degree or diploma or two. Be it a technical skill or non-technical skill for commerce students, you should have some skills, and more than having a skill, you should be able to display your skills. If you want me to go into the skill set, first you should be good at numbers. You should be having a numerical skill set. Other than numbers, you should be having a good communication skill. You should be able to communicate to your colleagues, higher ups, or your clients, or whoever it is, what these numbers or whatever denotes to the, what it means actually, what it matters, why it matters. That communication you have to make. You may be coming across a, what to say, a very stalwart who has been excel, or you may be coming across a person who is just beginner or fresher to a commerce ground. So you have to develop a lot of communication skills. Apart from number and communication skills, you should develop a lot of technical skills or something. Technical skills may be of knowing a software, being good at systems. This what to say, this 2000 is a digitalized system. Somehow or other we have been forced into digitalization, and we have to be very well versed with the computers and digital thing. If you want, first you just take a call where you want to be. Let us say if you want to be in an accounting professional, let us say for an example, you want to be an accounting professional, then if you know a proper accounting software in addition to your degrees, and if you are able to communicate properly with good number skills, this makes you more employable than others who don't have these skill sets. So it is better to develop the skill sets for commerce background. Try to learn as much as technical skills like softwares, be good at systems. It may be related to you or it may not be related to you, but learning will always be learning new things will always put you in a top position.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very good question, Aisiri and Hazim. And you got a clear picture about your doubts, isn't it? Sir suggested what are the areas you need to concentrate and what are the areas you need to promote yourself, isn't? Next, it's a chance for Praveen Prasad of 12th standard.
Thanks. Sir, I have two doubts. First doubt is what are the career opportunities in BCom Honor and BCom Journalism and Mass Communication?
When it comes to BCom Honors and BCom Mass Journalism, I will say there are a lot of opportunities for BCom as such, but I will suggest, my personal suggestions will be to do a master's, not to stop with an undergraduate degree, to go for a master's. By doing BCom or MCom, you can just go into various fields. So you can go into a banking sector, you can go into an accounting sector, you can be in insurance sector. And if you just take if you take an example of accounting sector, you can just join as an accounting officer, then you can just elevate yourself as an accounts head. You can go as a CFO, or you can even scale up to the level of CEO of an organization. That much of skills, that is the level you can go up when you choose a commerce field or something. So BCom honors, this will be a good thing to take up. When it comes to journalism, nowadays journalism is becoming one of a top trend and one of a performing, what to say, highly performing sectors. Now, few decades back, we might be having only one newspaper, one or two newspapers, and only one TV channels. Now you can just see the number of TV channels and number of newspapers. In addition to that, there are lot of channels which are coming up on internet, like YouTube channels or whether blogs or whatever it is. So for if you choose a journalism, you can just start from right from reporter level to correspondent, special reporter. You can be a feature writer, and even if you are, like, say, since you are coming from a commerce background, you can be an editor or columnist for a particular common, what to say, particular commerce based issue, economic based issue or something. That can also be a good option or something. When it comes to electronic media, you can be a researcher of whatever happening in the world. Like if there isn't any one particular thing happening, you can just do research about it and explain it, how it can be done, how it can be, what implications those particular things has. So you can be a researcher, you can be a broadcast reporter, you can be a presenter, or there are so many options which are available for a journalism. When it comes to journalism, we have to have a great analytical skills. You have to analyze what is happening. You have to have a great presentation skills, how to present that to a particular person so that they can understand what is happening, and you have to be creative about what you are presenting.
And my second question is, any career in defense open for commerce students?
When it comes to defense, you can just take up this National Defense Academy exams, which you can take up right from after your +2 itself. But when you want to climb up the ladder there also, for a particular level, up to a particular level, you can go up the ladder. But if you want to go up the ladder to the top or something, then you need basic degree or something with you. So what we will suggest, or what will be my personal suggestions will be, please go for a degree, then you can take up this NDA exams and whatever it is. Even you can just go for a civil service where you can just be placed in some of a secretary. If you are performing too good or something, then you can become a secretary of a defense sector also. Apart from these direct defense jobs, there are a lot of companies or establishments who are there in the defense sector, like companies producing defense products or something. Those those companies or organizations will also be requiring a commerce based professionals in their day-to-day running operations or something. You can try for that also.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Actually, it was an eye-opener for many of the children as of the career opportunities are concerned. Thank you so much for your clear explanation, sir. Now, Mukesh Balaji, the forum is yours. You can raise your question.
Thank you, Miss. Sir, I having a one doubt, sir. Which would be a better field for professional good, sir? CA or banking or IT finance, sir? Because IT finance is my sister was in IT, sir. He is in good position in IT. So what I can do, sir?
IT, you will be comfortable in Tamil. Will you be comfortable in Tamil or?
Both is fine, Surya.
Okay.
It could be bilingual as well. No issues.
Yes, Mukesh Balaji, IT in the sense, what IT you are trying to say? Income tax or what it is?
Finance, sir. Finance. IT at finance.
Okay. See, if you want to, there are a lot of options where you can enter into banking. You can do your CA and you can also enter into a banking sector or finance sector. Or you can just go with your degree, clear your IBBS, then you can be joining as what to say. You can just clear your IBBS and joining the bank. You can also clear your PO and you can join a bank, and then from there you can just climb up the ladder like assistant manager, and you can just keep on climbing the ladder for banking sector. and IT finance also is a good thing. Frankly speaking, all fields are good and got huge growth opportunities. Like I earlier said, it is all about each individual's mindset and expectation. Uh, you have to be clear what are you going to do after what is your vision after 5 years, 10 years, or where you want to be. Let us say if you are if you want to have a what to say, banking is a one sector where you have a, systemized working career or something. So if you want to have a systemized working career, then you can choose a banking sector. There are other opportunities in bank also which are out of the system and other things. So if you want to have a systemized thing, you can have a banking sector. IT finance is also too good, and CA is also a good option for you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, Satish Kumar, it's your turn.
Namaste, sir. My first question is about after CA, what further courses we can take to enhance our career prospects? And second thing is, what is most valuable in this career, education or experience? Which is valuable?
Uh, Good that I am facing a question from CA. Okay, when it comes to CA, what further course you can take up after CA to enhance our career? Is that so?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when it comes to CA, there are a lot of courses which are. Hope you are aware about the CA curriculum or something, or should I just give a brief introduction how CA or something? Should I just okay? I will just give a brief introduction about CA. CA is a course which is offered by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, which is having its head office in Delhi. Actually, it is a 3-stage course. It consists of foundation, inter, and final. If you want to directly join CA after your +2, then you have to go through this foundation route. If you have completed your graduation with certain marks, that is, if you go if being a commerce graduate, you have some additional benefit, or being another graduate, you have some benefit. Let us say if you are graduating more than 60% in, if you are qualifying your graduation with more than 60% of marks or something, then you can directly go for CA Inter. And there then you have to undergo a practical training for 3 years, and then we have to write final exams. So this is the way CA examination is held. And in addition to this, there are a lot of soft skill courses which are introduced. We have to undergo 2 soft skill courses which are mandatory by the ICAI. So once you complete this CA, and if you want to have further course, then it is based on the way you want to plan your career. Let us say this is mostly with respect to specializations. After CA, what am I going to do? Whether am I going to be a tax practitioner? Whether am I going to be an insolvency professional? Whether am I going to deal in mergers and acquisition? What am I going to do after CA? Now there are a lot of courses offered by ICAI itself post qualification of CA. After completing CA, there are a lot of courses. There are a lot of diploma courses, certified courses, and now most of these courses are offered by ICAI via Digital Learning Hub itself. In addition to this, you may take up courses offered by others also. Like you can just go for third-party courses and enhance your skills. So you can, some of the promising courses, what I feel for the future, it will be a course on Ind AS, a course on IFRS, a course on transfer pricing, a course on insolvency professional, a course on GST. These are few things what I feel which will be enhancing your future prospect or something. In addition to that, you also have a lot of technical courses like information system audit, forensic audit, and so on. So you may choose them as per your comfort and what you want to do and in which area you want to be specialization. All courses are equally good, but one thing what should we remember is, as and when there is an updation, we should adapt for that updation and enhance our knowledge to sustain and survive.
The second question is, what is most valuable in this career, sir? Education or experience?
In this career means you mean CA, is it?
In commerce batch.
In commerce, okay. Not only in commerce, be it any professional for that matter, both experience and knowledge are essential to excel. We cannot say, see, we can be so knowledgeable, but you should have an experience to where to apply that knowledge. So a very good balance of knowledge and experience should be there to excel in any profession for that matter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, what are the points you have covered for Satish question? Most of the time, our principal ma'am used to say all this version. The same version they are hearing from some other person. I think whatever our ma'am used to say for our commerce children, I think it was a very clear explanation for the children. So thank you so much for that. Now, Gomati, you can raise a question to sir.
Thank you, Miss. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, ma'am.
I have two questions. My first question, I have taken commerce with business math. Am I eligible for BCA?
Certain universities are allowing admission to BCAs even if you have not studied computer science in your +2, ma'am. So there is nothing stopping you from taking up BCA. BCA means you are speaking about Bachelor of Computer Applications, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can go for it. That BCA is also one of the promising course now. You can take up, ma'am, no issues. It is not, see, the thing is, if you have taken commerce or something, it is not stopping you from taking computer applications or something. To be very frank with you, if you have taken commerce group, you can also do an architecture. You can do your diploma or degree even in architecture, which is certain universities in western region of India are allowing. So just because you have taken business maths or something, nothing will stop you from pursuing whatever you want to pursue.
My second question is, apart from CA, are there any highly paid jobs in commerce?
Sorry, ma'am. Can you just repeat?
Yeah. Apart from CA, are there any highly paid jobs in commerce?
Okay, fine. CA is one of the course in commerce. It is not the one and only course. There are other professional courses. If you see in Indian level, there are other professional courses like CS, Company Secretaryship. There are courses like CMA, Indian CMA, which is Cost and Management Accountancy. And if you see international level, you have this US CPA, you have this Australian CPA, you have CFA, you have ACCA, and so on and so forth. These are highly paid jobs in commerce field. Is it not? It is not that you have to restrain yourself only to this professional course. Professional course is one of an option which is available in commerce group. You can do your degree, masters, and whatever it is. Let us say you complete your BCom, MCom, MPhil, and PhD. Then you can be a lecturer who can enlighten so much of students, and that is also, even a lecturer today is what to say, highly paid job. It is not that only the professionals are getting highly paid. Professionals in the sense I just meaning practicing professional or something. Apart from CA, you can just go for other professional courses. You can go for this MPhil, MPhil and PhD, and you can be a lecturer. You can do research, whatever it is. Those are also highly paid. Apart from that, you can do your MBAs, which is also a highly remunerative job in commerce thing. Choosing commerce, it has its own advantage. The opportunities available for a commerce students is like an ocean. You can choose multiple, you are free to choose multiple options available in front of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gomati's question is a common question of many students. Thank you for the clarity reply, sir. Next, Priyadarshini, it's your turn. You can raise your question.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm having two questions.
Your audio is little, I'm not able to hear you, ma'am. Please.
Sir, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, please go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, sir. My first question, in what way automation is more likely to make a big entry in jobs related to commerce, sir?
Okay. Automation of jobs is both a boon and a ban. Automation is already happening in commerce. We cannot stop automation or something. As already said, this is a digital era and we have to be digital, and automation is one part of it. We cannot avoid automation. To be very, let us say something, earlier we used to maintain, let me just take an example out of the accountancy itself. Earlier we used to maintain manual books of accounts. Like if you are working in an organization, then you have to write each and every entry in your register or something. That is how you might have studied to buy to this ledger, to that ledger. All those things are based on those manual bookkeeping. If you are like, let us say to this particular ledger, it means you have to see that particular ledger. That is how the accounting actually has been designed or something. But now all these things are digitalized and what to say, automation has taken place in this thing. Earlier, for a particular entry, you might have heard about double entry system or something. You have to make, for one particular entry, you have to make two entries in your books. One is in that particular ledger and another is in another ledger or something. Now, simple form of automation is, if you make that entry in Tally or let us say for SAP or whatever ERP it is automatically getting posted in to particular ledgers or whatever it is. So now everything is computerized and we may get the desired report by just click of a button. And second thing, e-market has become an integral part now. That is also one of the automation which is happening right now. These kind of automations which is happening now, it may result in reduction in number of people who are required to do a particular job on a ground level. But system cannot work independently. We humans devise the system, we humans input the system, and we are the one who are going to use the output of the system. You please ensure that you enhance your skill to such extent that you be that kind of a person who use the system and give a productivity.
Okay.
What to say, along with this is not only with this automation happening, no, earlier we just the subject knowledge was suffice for most of part of our time. Till 2-3 decades the subject knowledge was sufficient. Now with this automation, you should have a proper good technical skill set also. You should be able to handle with technologies and so on. So in addition to your subject knowledge, technical skill set is also a need of honor in the organization. So at the end of the day, though the system does everything, you need a person to make it do, and you need a person to use the results. So you should develop, adapt yourself to be that person, so that there is a good opportunity available for you in employment or whatever career you choose.
Okay, sir. And my second question is, does BCom entitle us to job opportunities in abroad?
Okay. I may not deny that BCom degree entitle you a job opportunity in MNC or abroad. With BCom, you may get job opportunities with MNCs or even in abroad. Personally, I know few people who have just completed their BCom and drawing more than $1 lakh per month in abroad. But those are purely due to their technical and other skill set. Not only this degree will make you a better person. It is what skill you are expressing, what skill you are possessing, and what skill you are expressing will make you a better professional. One particular thing is, please avoid a misconception that degree will put you in a big job or something. Degree is just a gateway for you to get a job, and it is not the only requirement to get a job. You should have proper technical skill set and other things. Your determination, your skill set only will do wonders. Especially if you want to go for an abroad for a job or something. What I will personally suggest is, with BCom you can get a job. That will be little basic job or something. Let us say you can join as an accounting officer of a particular organization or something. But when you want to climb up the ladder, you want to be an accounts head, you want to become a CFO, then they will have certain criteria. You should have some masters or whatever it is. So if you decide to go for an abroad job, I will personally suggest you to do some masters in addition to BCom. That master can be MCom, MBA or whatever it is. So it will not only help you to get a particular job, but it will also ensure that you climb up the ladder.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, it was a right explanation at the right time. Thank you so much for the clarification, sir. Now, Arshini N from 11th standard. Now it's your turn, ma. You can raise your query too, sir.
Thank you, Miss. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, ma'am. Yes.
I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
As there are many streams in BCom, which is ideal with good job prospects?
See, like I already said, all streams are equally good, be it any course for that matter. However, you want to choose your destination. Let us say if you are deciding to go for a bank oriented sector, then you can prefer BCom bank management. If you want to go for a corporate kind of a sector where you want to have a deal with compliance or something, you can take up BCom CS. If you want to get into a finance related job, then you can do BCom finance or something. So all fields are extremely good and all fields are having equal opportunities in the market. So you have to choose what you are going to be, and then you can choose the course what you want to do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next it is Lawrence, PC Lawrence. It's your turn, ma'am.
Namaste, sir.
Yes.
Give some tips as to how we can start preparing for a chartered accountant.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, very good. May I know your intention as of now, whether you are likely to do CA right after your higher secondary, or you are intending to go for a graduation and then do for a chartered accountancy?
Right to finish a higher secondary and right to chartered accountant.
Okay, very good. Congratulations for you, first of all.
Thank you.
You can take up CA course right after completing your +2. Then you have to undergo for a foundation course and so on, and then inter and other things. Hope you would have done all those research and other things with respect to CA. What is the basic skill or what is the basic requirement? What I personally feel is, you should be very strong at the basic concepts. You might have studied these basic accounting concepts in your +1 and +2. Though, please remember, those are not just for the marks which are going to get in your +1 or +2. Those are going to be your major basement or foundation if you choose to be a accounting professional or whatever it is. Just for an example, I just said about these things. So whatever you are learning in your +1, +2 or whatever stage you are, learn the concepts, understand the concepts. Those get maximum clarity with the particular concepts. Though that concept clarity what you are getting now will help you more and more in CA. Like example, if you are too good and if you are if you are very strong at the accounting concepts in your +2, then clearing foundation accounting paper will be like a feather touch to you. So learn and understand the basic concepts. That will be my suggestion for doing a CA.
Thank you, sir. And my last question is, are BCom, BCA, or BBA are only available courses for commerce students?
No, it is not that BCom, BBA or BCA is the only com. Like you said, you can just go for a BCA. You can even go for an architect, like I already said. So don't confine yourself to a particular four corners or something. When you come to commerce, you are just standing in front of an ocean. You have to decide which way you want to go, and you can explore lots and lots of islands and paradise on the other side of it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Last but not the least, I have Ramya with me from 11th standard. Ramya, you can raise your query to sir.
Thank you. Namaste, sir.
Yes, namaste.
I have 4 questions to clear my doubts, sir.
Yes.
My first question, if I intend doing BCom and CA simultaneously, which stream of BCom would be suitable, sir?
Okay. Let us get some clarity before that. Whether you are intending to do BCom and CA simultaneously, then whether you want to go for a regular BCom or you want to have a correspondence, BCom under correspondence thing.
BCom regular, sir.
Okay. You can choose CA BCom general so that you can have a fair idea about all the concepts instead of restricting yourself to a particular thing. That is what will be my suggestion. There are, if you are destined to do CA, what that means, if you are decided to do CA, there are a lot of universities who are giving various options for doing BCom under correspondence. You can just take up your CA right after your +2, and you can also parallelly do your BCom under correspondence. You can just do it in Madras University, other universities, whatever it is, and there are a lot of benefits which are also given for such students. I will just tell you one particular example where you can just do your BCom under correspondence. There is a university called Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU, which is a very famous university all over India, and it is having a good reputation all over the world too. This IGNOU is offering a particular course called BCom A&F. Once you are registered for CA, you can just take up this BCom A&F also. You just need to submit some assignments later to that thing, and you just need to write only 6 papers of your BCom. And the thing is, you will be awarded a BCom degree after passing the 6 papers and passing both the groups of CA Inter. Once you pass these 2 things, then you can just have your BCom degree also. That also you can utilize. This is one option which you can utilize.
My second question, what is the difference between CA after 12th and CA after BCom?
Okay. I myself done CA after 12th. So CA after 12th, you will have little bit of what to say. Once you are clearing all the stages of CA and other things, you will be you have to take your mandatory practical training and other things. So you have to be ready to raise yourself to that stage where you can stand and deliver. Okay, because once you come into CA or something, see the doing BCom and then coming for CA, it has its own advantage. Like most of the inter concepts you will be aware, you can at least know at your BCom stage itself. Like there is some papers called statistic financial management. So it's financial management and other concepts, you will get more clarity in your BCom. Both has got its own advantage and disadvantages. You have to take what will best suit to you. When you are taking BCom and then going for a CA, you will have a better clarity and you have certain time to settle yourself and then do a proper CA or something. If you are the thing is doing CA right after completing your +2 is you are just pushing yourself directly to your professional course. So you have to be ready to face what the professional course demands from you.
Okay, sir. My third question, do I necessarily have to join a CA coaching center?
Not necessarily. It is not a compulsion that you should join a coaching class. CA is actually a self-learning course. The material, the study material which is provided by the CA Institute for their students is very, very, very resourceful. Those are self-explanatory and easy to understand. However, this going to coaching classes will be like you are going like to a tuition kind of a thing. It's all about each and every individual person, how they are this thing. However, if you feel like you need assistance in understanding the concepts, definitely coaching classes will help you to understand the concept with more clarity. There is no doubt about it. Being in Chennai is one of the famous hub for CA coaching classes. Our education system, we are mostly got used to our classroom learning. If you are too accustomed to classroom learning, like one person comes and explain you the concept and then you are getting what you want, then if you are understanding it more with much more clarity, then you can go for your coaching classes. Now, other than private coaching classes, even the ICAI, its regional branches and its other branches are also conducting coaching classes. And due to this pandemic, most of the classes, they have come into online. It is not necessary that you have to go there and learn. Most of the classes are available in online. And even ICA has raised its standards by providing online classes for all the 3 levels of CA course. You can get a much of a concept clarity there also. So it is not necessary for you to go to a coaching classes. However, if you wish you want to get a more clarity, then however, if you want to, if you are more accustomed to classroom learning kind of a thing, then you should go for a classes. Definitely classes will help you in understanding the concepts.
Okay, sir. My last question, any upper age limit for completing CA?
There is no age limit for completing CA. I know a gentleman who is on his 50s, retired from a bank as a manager. He was a branch manager of a particular bank. He got his BRS, joined his CA course and completed the course in his 50s. So there is no age restriction. As long as you have the determination and desire to learn, you can do CA at any age.
Thank you, sir. I also thanks to ma'am for giving this wonderful opportunity, ma'am.
I think we have come to the end of the program. It was a very, very useful one, Surya. Very useful one. All the questions were very relevant. That's why we gave the option to the children to come forward and ask questions rather than we people asking, from our end, it will be from the teacher's point of view. From them, it is always from a student's point of view. That's why we were able to get plethora of questions today. In fact, we teachers got several clarity. We generally become misguided and we also misguide a few children. So that way, I think it was a very, very useful session for all of us. Lot of takeaways. I should thank you very much for this program. And personally, I should thank Lalit ji, who is also with us, silent spectator. I should thank Lalit sir for this, and thank you so much. It had been a wonderful session for all of us. Matter of 55 minutes, you have covered the entire gamut about commerce stream, the options that are available, so on and so forth. Extremely thankful to you.
If if time permits, can I just take another 5 more minutes with the students, ma'am?
Please.
Yeah. First of all, a big hi to all the students. Actually, you guys have raised the questions which are on a different level to me also. First of all, congratulations to the school and to the teachers, the administration and students for bringing up the students to this particular level. Second thing, there is a misconception which is going on that only bright students or the persons who are good at studies only can excel or something. That is not true. As long as you are determined to do anything, no one can stop you from doing. Just have a fire within you. That fire will ensure this fire is just like the fire what is there in the halogen balloon kind of a thing. The more fire you get, the more high you reach. Basically, what to say, this particular, once so many of you would have decided to do commerce on their own, and some of them would have been pushed for commerce. Never ever have a regret for commerce. It is a course which is vital for each and every aspect of the world as such. If you want, just to show the an example to illustrate the importance of commerce, right from start to end, whatever you do, let us say your friends might have taken biology group, your friends might have taken computer science group, and they would have been targeting themselves for let us say medicine, engineering, or they would be starting for a, let us say, technical factory kind of a thing. Each and everyone will require commerce in their day-to-day operations. That is one good thing about commerce. Let us say a person wants to build, one of your friends might have become a doctor, he wants to start up an hospital. Then he definitely requires your help, like whether it is feasible to start an hospital. If it is feasible, that is called feasibility study. If it is feasible, what is the budget that is required to start a particular venture? That is called budgeting. There are two types of budget, which is capital budgeting and day-to-day budgeting. Once the budget is ready, you have to educate, or you have to find a way for your friend how he or she should move that budget, get that budget into the project. Yeah, now you have done a feasibility study, you have done a budget, you have got the capital, you have started the venture. Is it our role ending there? No. The thing is, for day-to-day functioning, they require your help, and they would have once your friend is associated with you, then you would have definitely going to make a huge profits or something. Then you have to help him what to do with that profit earned. Whether are we associated only on the surplus part of it? No. Once you decided to move out of the object, then you professionals have to help him and show him the right way how to put a proper end to whatever it is. So commerce is a field which is having a wide and huge opportunity. Feel proud to be a commerce student. All the very best for your future endeavors. I just wanted to thank this Natation School, the founder, principal and assistant correspondent madam, the teachers, and my mentor Lalit sir for giving me this opportunity to interact with you all. It was a very good interaction what I had. Hope I had just given my viewpoint in whatever way I can. It will be a good thing. Not but not the least, you have to take a leaf out of the book. You can just take a role model of your founder. He himself has completed MBA, he is an FCS, and he is a stalwart in the corporate world. And even our principal madam has done her master's in finance. So you have your role model right in front of you. Take a leaf out of their book. All the best for your future endeavors. Thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure, Surya, especially the way you summed up the whole thing, you know. It takes enormous effort from us to convince children that commerce also has several opportunities. So you have summed up so well. Thank you so much. Thank you once again for giving us an opportunity to hear you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.